Ooh.
I'm ready, but I have no idea what we're doing. I need the Swede. Where's the Swede?
We're just out here getting it done.
Do you need to seek medical attention?
I think so. I might lose my temper.
That's a prostate.
You'll find out.
That didn't take much.
Chet Larson?
You never know what we're gonna get into, right, Dougal? You're in the rhubarb! I'm having fun.
Well, you guessed it. It's that time of the year where you get to drag out, do a little road maintenance. I say road maintenance. And I just about started, and I'm gonna have to finish or turn around because I got a truck coming at me. It's one job that never changes. You're always gonna get interrupted in it. Bear with me as I reposition all of you guys. No, that thing's not looking so clean no more. I just don't know what to say. I hate driving dirty stuff. Nobody likes to see it. Nobody should have to look at it. It's nothing but a, what do they call it, a rust-eaten machine, the stuff that they put on the roads. I'm running a little high RPMs here because, well, the batteries, they were a little on the dead side. And the alternator, well, it's gotten to the point of its life where tractor don't get used enough, so then the alternator gets a little sticky or whatever happens to alternators. And you have to crank out the RPMs. The tractor of many levers. We have got our transmission gear selected. We have got barely enough fuel to make a pass or two. And we're gonna take off now. And yeah, my memory after 3-4 days of laying in and out of consciousness from the life-altering sickness of the flu, I've got my hands full here, guys. Now we're dealing with maybe an inch of loose gravel because the frost has just barely come out. I mean, this blade ain't gonna go in the ground very far, so I don't have to worry about going too deep. Why don't I get the big blade out? I just don't wanna, I don't need to do that. I just need to knock off a few washboards here and we'll wait for the big blade stuff when it's big blade stuff time. Back and forth, maybe 2 trips, up, down, and we'll have this thing knocked out. You know, it never amazes me of what kind of problems can happen with tractor sitting in the shed all by itself. They just break down all the time. Sitting there, being used. As you can see the RPMs there, that definitely is not performing to optimal performance conditions. I don't know if that's a low voltage issue or what, but it worked when last parked is all I know. And now it says because you're never supposed to. Well, this tractor, when we first got it, brand new, back in those days, they wanted you to run this thing at 2,400 RPM. And I believe you'd go over to the exhaust temperature. You never wanted to go over, or I was told by the guy that was in charge of me, who was my dad, do not ever go over 975 temperature on the exhaust. And whatever you do, if you see that it is at that temperature, or maybe up to 1,050, you idle that thing back and you just settle down, mister, type of deal. I don't know what's going on. Digital readout that was brand new on this 1086 or to the Case IH. No, that was before Case IH. The 1086 was the last model built by Case IH. And that is incorrect too. I should just stop, go get my temperature, and I gotta just stop. Okay, I've got my brain gathered together, and now I'm gonna try to explain the digital readout one more time. The 1086 was one of the first tractors with a digital readout from what I remember. John Deere, it took them a few years to come into the, I think it was maybe their 50 model John Deere that had digital readout. 55 did, I know for sure. 1086 and all of those 86 series had digital readouts, along with the 88 series, which was the last model, I believe, that IH ever made. And then they merged with Case IH. And that's where we're at till this day, which, I don't know, I sure miss the old international days. There's something about it, but I guess that's just the way modern progression is. I think I'm just gonna go finish up the driveway and let the guys take over the camera videoing for the rest of the day, because this thing ain't keeping up with this thing, which is even more abnormal on today. Even the side-by-side has to bother me. I'm sure they're just goofing around now. Everybody wants to be out of the shop now that it's warmer temperatures and enjoy the outside, smell the springtime stuff, and it's even raining a little bit. Tested out the windshield wiper. That works. That's right, you sit there and wait for me. Enough of this me waiting for everybody else. Oh, look who stopped me. She didn't really stop me, I stopped her, but she wanted to, actually I wanted to talk to her about some of the situations that she's been having with the vehicle. And I think we've got some mud that slid down on the wheels and has caused the vehicle to be out of balance, or the tires to be out of balance. So we're gonna go wash them out at the farm and see if we can get the vehicle to level off and stop its rumble jumble jumping, you know what I'm saying. And then I'm gonna go back home, I think, and sit in my sick chair.
Oh man, guys, it is beautiful outside. Look at this. Beautiful sunny day. But we're making mud, as you can see. The yard is getting destroyed. And so is the truck, it looks like. Ugh. It's that time of the year. You know what you're doing?
Well, I know what I'm not going to continue to do.
Shovel in a bin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured that's why I was called.
A little shaky.
You look like you lost about 15 pounds.
I don't know what it is, but it was something.
We got 2 grain bins down to the fun part, the shoveling part. So I guess we've got 3 trucks going, which is abnormal. We typically don't truck with that many trucks, so that's keeping the mixing of the grain down here. Full-time job.
Full-time job. Now I'm cheating. I got 3 bins running, and 2 of them are going into the old pit, which ain't meant to do that. So when you come by, you look, it ain't flooding and burying it.
I didn't look. Oh yeah, good times. This is the fun part. So I think what we're gonna do here, if you can see me at all, we're gonna be shoveling. Man, that's dark. So we're gonna be shoveling on here and catching up with the sweep, and then we're gonna let the bend sweep go around the second time to clean up the rest of this, and then we just shovel it to the middle. Good times.
I told you I wasn't gonna put it on until the bin got emptied, and it's empty. Just to, because I know you guys want to see. Oh, it's so dark. All nice and cleaned up, ready for next year. Let the insanity begin again. Very repetitive. That's all I can say. Life, everyone's life is just repetition. Empty it out, clean it up, dirty it up. I sure wish he would hurry up. I gotta get going. I'm supposed to go pick up Big Black from the body shop. They got it all painted up, and well, and of course it's supposed to start raining, so I want to go get it home before it gets all cruddy roads and get it all dirty, because usually those guys at the body shop, when it comes out of there, it's all nice and clean. And I'm sure they've done the inside too, right? Right?
Hey, you sure are clean.
Well,
woo! Look at that snow here. Unreal.
it should be legal.
So I did two bends actually. The bend that we started with, which was this one, and then I also did that one, because that other one was empty and it has been empty, but it was like 20 below zero, so no one was in favor of doing that. I'd rather do it now when it's like 50 out rather than when it's 90, so I'm winded, man. That was work.
Here.
You gonna clean my eyes with that?
I'm gonna clean you up here just a little bit. These guys might need it too. Who do I do? You first or them guys?
I'm scared for you to be near me with that. So now that we have finished those two bends, that was actually some of our drier corn, so that those were the bends we were targeting for hauling to the grain elevator, which will take corn only below, well, they'll take any corn, but without dock and drying charges, it needs to be below 15%. Well, now those two bends are gone. We're starting to pull out of other bends that typically have been wetter. So I pulled this sample out of the top of the last truck that was being loaded, and looks like we're still at 14.8. So hopefully that's what the elevator comes up with. Because a lot of our bend site actually got dried to 15 and a half, just because the ethanol plant where we typically take most of our corn to will take it up to 15 and a half. So that's why we dry most of our corn to that. And then now we're hauling to an elevator and having a hard time finding enough dried corn. Oh, they're dusty. Definitely should have waited till he was done dumping into the truck. My goodness, that was terrible. So that last sample was 14.8, so hopefully this is similar. We'll be good. Ooh. One was 14.8, this one's 15.4. It's definitely going to be over 15. I had a 15.1, 15.2, and a 15.4. Well, it's on the truck now. So we may, if we consistently get into not being able to get it under 15, I think we're going to actually switch and start hauling to the ethanol plant until we can get this bin here, 26. We've got notes that a fair amount of very dry corn out of the field is in the middle of this bin, directly dumped into the bin. So we know it's in there, we just have to get it down to that level. So that's the game plan ultimately. So That truck maybe is going to the ethanol plant. Wow, look at this guy.
From winter to spring, so quick.
You have 14.8 on, is what I had you at, and then I have Eric at 15.2. Well, would you look at that? It's made it back. All painted up and everything.
Where did the letters go?
I had them take them off.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I didn't like that logo. We're updating.
Well, that's not painted then?
I don't know what they painted and didn't paint. Looks nice though.
Well, we might need
Should have done the whole thing for,
Yeah.
I don't even want to tell you what this costs,
Well, I got
much
the
less
bill.
how much the whole thing would cost.
I got the bill.
Is it worse than we thought?
No, I think it's better than
Oh,
we
good.
thought.
Good. That's what I'd like to hear.
Didn't even make it up to $4,000. You might need to tape that back cardboard in a little better. There's smoke somewhere. It's sucking diesel smoke in bad. Yeah.
Well, we'll fix that. But now the cab is shinier than the hood. We won't really notice when we get that visor that hangs
Right.
down across half the windshield so that you can't see out.
Corn dust. And we could maybe get some turtle wax out. You know, they go good old turtle wax.
Yeah, get it out. No, this is good. Now we can get this. I kind of need this truck for this spring, so now we can get working on this. All right, so that pretty much wraps up today's video. Anyways, we've got a lot to put together and a lot to figure out what we're doing here. So stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe if you have. Thank you very much, and please like the video. We'll see you guys next time.